you're working with a VC group now.
I am. Yep.
So tell me about that, because it's not just you're not investing in businesses, right? You're investing in creators
So we
themselves?
so we have two funds that I work across. So I'm in an early stage venture capital fund called Slow Ventures. We manage like a little bit over $1 billion. We've been around for like over a decade. I've been there for about a year and a half.
Okay.
And I joined to work on two funds. We have one that like invests in startups. So like all the tech stuff you're seeing in Silicon Valley and New York, we're in the middle of all of that. Like you're meeting with all these like wizard kids from Stanford and MIT that are building like AI for dogs. We're talking to those kids. And I don't know what half the stuff is half the time. And it's like, and then you're like, oh, like, yeah, we just raised like $100 million for like distilling AI for tractors. And I'm like, I don't know what any of that means, but congrats. I guess somebody does. And then the other half is we've increasingly, and I mean, you have a platform, so I'm sure you've picked up on this too. Like there's this increasing trend of there's so much slop on the internet now, like both so many people posting so much AI generated content that
Mhm.
everybody's internet is different now. Like it used to be the internet was kind of like you had the one Facebook news feed or media was a few TV channels. And now everything's so algorithmically driven that everybody has their own corner of the internet. But there's certain people that carve out their kind of niche as like call it the like market or segment or theme leader in whatever their space is. Like there's people who are just really, really, really dominant. Like you could argue James Clear was one of the OGs doing this with like just talking about like habits and like life productivity. And like
Okay.
he's the habit guy, right? But
Mhm.
there's a lot of different versions of this in pretty much any vertical. And we had this bet that basically, okay, AI is making it easier and easier to make software and just like create technology. Distribution is actually getting harder and harder because there's so much noise. Like everything from the cost of running Meta ads and Google ads gets more and more competitive. Like there's no like easy distribution that's cheap anymore. But if you have millions of followers or subscribers who love your stuff and who are super engaged, guess what? It's much easier to like grow a business and find buyers and find customers and like get feedback from those customers and build stuff faster. It's kind of like, I don't know, like the Kardashians, their ability to like spin up brands and make money off of them. Yeah, when they have the entire world watching what they're doing,
Yep.
you can get eyeballs on Skims really fast, or Hailey Bieber, or there's like so many versions of this with like people with massive online influence being able to leverage that influence to benefit their brands. The Paul brothers, right? There's just this is an obvious thing. Tom Brady's doing it with all of his endorsement deals now and companies he's invested in. So we raised a separate fund where we are now investing in like creators and specifically like what we call creator entrepreneurs who they have a platform, they've built an audience in a specific niche, and they figured out how to build businesses on top of that, or have very good hypotheses for building businesses on top of that that are like high leverage, scalable, and they want to raise a couple $1 million to hire people, invest in technology, blah, blah, blah. And our bet is these people with platforms could build 2, 3, 4 companies off of these platforms. Then we have stakes in all of them. So we've been doing it for a little over a year now. It's still pretty early, but like it feels like the world is kind of waking up to this. Like
Mhm.
CAA just raised like a big multi-$100 million fund to like invest in kind of creator-led commerce brands. Like this is very much where like a big part of the media content world is going. And I think we're really early to it.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, quite honestly, I'm trying to build a platform to support my
Yep.
business, to promote my business.
Yep.
What you're basically saying is people who already have or on the verge of the platform can launch the business,
Yep.
in the right segments. So
Totally.
it's the opposite direction of I did the business first, and now I'm trying to grow the business bigger through building a platform.
Yep.
You're trying to catch the people at, hey, you got this platform. Can we help you do something with
Yep.
it?
Yep.
How do you get them mad? Because you probably want to catch them right before they blow up or right as they're blowing up, right? Like, so is there some intuition behind it
It's
that they
hard,
lean on you
right?
for?
Like, it's one of those things where the good thing and bad thing about, like, the call it creator investments versus normal startups, a lot of these people are more visible earlier. Like, there's no way to know, like, there's so many really smart people building tech companies that, like, you just don't know about yet because there's nothing online about them, right? Like, and then all of a sudden you see, oh, so and so raised $40 million to build these types of robots. You actually can't stay on top of all those because, like, they're in the shadows, and so much of it is like you just have to have the right network where, like, stuff gets funneled to you. On the creator stuff, these people have YouTube channels, they have newsletters, they have podcasts. Like, there's a lot of publicly available information about them. So, like, being able to use like web search or even like AI tools that can go out and like find creators in interesting niches makes it much easier to find people who have good engaged audiences. But the hard part about creators are like a lot of them aren't entrepreneurial. Like the overlap of person who knows how to make compelling content and build an audience, and also person who's like very entrepreneurially driven. Like I would put you probably in the camp of like very strong entrepreneur who's realized content has leverage and is now figuring out content thing, right? And like,
Exactly right. Yeah, and
and
not very good at it either, but trying. Yes.
so there's a lot of people who are like, they figured out the content thing and think they want to be an entrepreneur, but like being an entrepreneur, like a lot of it really sucks. Like the idea of like there's people who want to have a company, but like but actually like doing the like gritty work of building it day to day just kind of sucks. So being able to suss out like pattern matching, okay, what attributes when we're looking at like a tech company founder, like grit, discipline, just like general ability to like be a winner and also be very smart in their market. We have to layer that on top of person who's also good at building audience. So it ends up with like, there's a lot of people with big audiences that probably just like, either they don't want to build the business, or if you're making $1 million a year on brand deals, like there's not a lot of incentive to like risk cutting that revenue to like build your own thing where if it works, you know, the equity value of your thing could be worth multiples of what you're making cash flow every year from brand deals. But do you want to take that 2 to 3 year hit and uncertainty where it might not work? Like that's just not a trade a lot of people want to make. So it's like there's a lot of ways to find people to talk to that have big audiences, but then the intuition and the diligence work is both sussing out like, have they built like, you start evaluating you have to do the work of like, okay, do they actually have an audience, and like are they growing, and like are people engaged? Cool. Assuming you have that, all right, then you're looking at it like any other business investment. It's like, is this entrepreneur really good? Are they scrappy? Like what have they
Yep.
proven while bootstrapped or on minimal amount of capital raised? Like, do they actually like, do they want to build a really big business? Like, do we trust that they're in this for like 5 to 10 years, or are they going to burn out in a year? Like, it's a lot of the same, human and business diligence you do for looking at any other investment. And yeah, it's kind of over time you develop an intuition for like, they have it or they don't, but there's basically just one additional step versus evaluating any other investment opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's no take, for example, talk to the investors on Shark Tank. Like, it's the horse they're betting on more than the
100%.
idea all the time. So you're doing the same thing, betting on a horse, you just don't have a business yet maybe to model. So
It
you gotta
depends.
kinda.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Like we've done
Yeah.
we've done deals where like they're making a few $1 million already, and we've done some where maybe they haven't, but this person has been working like 2 part-time jobs while also building the platform, and they fully mapped out what their wedge is gonna be, where they're just executing at a really high level. And by giving them money, it gives them the flexibility to like quit one or both of those jobs to spend more time on this. And like, it's like, okay, maybe you do a lower valuation on this deal because they haven't proven out the business, but they have proven out a very, very capable person who has high velocity who can build a business. So there's a whole spectrum of like, this thing is working. I need to raise capital to grow it quickly. And I think this thing will work. I'll raise a little bit less capital at a lower price to like prove it out. And then you guys can put more in as it works.
I hope you enjoyed this conversation. If you want more Podcrash in your life, which of course you do, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Catch you next time.